Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte, aka Melo's mom. Oh yeah, welcome. So yeah, guys, today I want to share my delivery story. I swear it's not a horror story. Yeah, I have been requested actually to do it, but I was a bit skeptical of doing it because my experience was not a horror movie. It was not horrific. It wasn't bad, so I didn't really feel the need to share it because it was smooth sailing. But then I'm thinking, okay, let me just do it, get it over and done with. So yeah. So anyway, I have this this guy here just to keep you company. That's it. There's nothing to it. Just I want him to keep me company. Okay, so I'm gonna try and just tell the story as quickly as possible. I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so yeah, but yeah. Anywho, so another thing, I don't think I'm a good storyteller. I, yeah, I can review things, I can speak, but telling a story, it just feels a bit weird. But you'll tell me guys how you feel about it. Let me just delve into it. So anyway, okay, so just a background story of the whole thing basically. So growing up, I've always wanted to give birth naturally. Like, I mean, 90% of women out there growing up, we all want to give birth naturally. And that was me until I got pregnant. So the first 3 months of my pregnancy was quite a lot. It was a lot. I was sick. I was nausea. I was vomiting. It was the worst. So because of that experience in my pregnancy, I just at that time, um, when I was sick and all that, I decided that, you know what, this is not fun. It was bad. So I decided, no, I'm not gonna do natural. If the morning sicknesses are this bad, then you could actually think about giving birth naturally. It would be hell. I mean, people have expressed as to how bad the morning sicknesses are, but the worst is giving birth naturally. So I was struggling with the morning sicknesses, so I didn't want to put myself through giving birth naturally because I was gonna die. I mean, guys, I'm in Bogodo and all, but my tolerance for pain, zero. So because of that, I decided to give birth C-section. I decided on the first 3 months, and I'm telling you guys, I didn't change my mind. Another thing that you must know that I knew when I was making this decision was if I give birth naturally, I'm only gonna experience pain prior to giving birth, like the labor pains, contractions, basically. Yeah, they're gonna give me help, but once I push and the baby's out, I knew that I would be fine after that. But with the C-section, I also knew that I might have a smooth delivery, but I'll have to deal with the pain after of the scar that I would have gotten from the C-section. Okay, so I actually knew it was a catch-22. It was either the pain before or the pain after. Then I personally chose the pain after. I thought I'll deal with that much better. So yeah, chose C-section, end of story. So the day actually of the delivery, so I was gonna give birth on the 5th. I gave birth on the 5th of October. My doctor gave me that date. A week before giving birth, they gave me the time I should be at the hospital by 11 o'clock. I was gonna give birth at 2 p.m. Cool, so everything is fine. I'm set. My baby bag is ready. My bag is ready. I'm set. The 5th of October, I wake up in the morning. I prepare myself. I head to the hospital. I'm being driven to the hospital. I'm ready. And mind you, I was okay. I wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong with me. I wasn't too heavy. I was just fine. So we head to the hospital, we get there. I'm just gonna do a fast forward. Get there, we fill the forms, they show you your room, they tell you what to do. Then you play the waiting game now. So I'm waiting there, I'm prepared. I've actually taken a shower, I'm in there, gowns and nighties. I'm ready. But I was nervous. Guys, I was nervous. Yeah. I've never felt like that before. And I feel that it was the unknown, basically. That is why I was so nervous. I was super nervous. Like, I was nervous. I was shaking. My hands were shaking. My whole body was shaking because I was so nervous. Anyway, the time comes. They come fetch me with a stretcher. Now I'm going to the operation room. Oh, I forgot something. So in the whole preparation before the theater, so the nurse comes and they put a drip on my wrist, and they need to put a catheter. I think it's a catheter. I hope I'm saying it correctly. It's a catheter. So what a catheter is, it's a certain tube that goes to your VJJ, where you piss. They put it there. So the nurse who was about to administer that, she advised me to get a numbing gel so that I don't feel any pain when they put that catheter. Cool, go to the pharmacy, get the gel, the numbing gel. We put the numbing gel. She puts in that the tube. No pain. I only felt a bit of pressure when she was doing it, but nothing out of the ordinary. Then the drip, which was a bit painful, but really wasn't that bad. Okay, then fast forward to us going to the theater. We go to the theater, we get there. There's a waiting area basically there. So I'm on my stretcher already. There's a waiting area there. My partner is there. We're waiting. Ugh. So one of the doctors, they come out from the operation room. So he says to me, "Hi, my name." He introduces himself. We also introduce ourselves. You know, he's all high spirits. He's happy. You know, I think it's a way of calming us down in a way. So he was like quite happy and bubbly. So he's like, "Okay, I'm the one who's gonna administer the epidural." So he explains what's gonna happen. So he says to me, "Okay, we're just gonna go through this just once so that you are not surprised when you go inside." I'm like, perfect. So he says to me, "Okay, so when you get in there, you're gonna sit on your butt. Then I want your partner to come in front. Then I want you to lean forward as far down as possible, so what happens is your spine is like this, right? So he wanted me to actually just lean forward as much as possible so that my spine gets opened. Then they're able to inject the epidural. So what the epidural does, it numbs your body basically. So it was gonna numb my body from the waist down. So he's taking me through that. I'm like, perfect, I understand. But I hear him, but the nerves are getting the best of me. I'm so nervous. Anyway, cool. Now it's our turn. So actually they call us, then they push me in. It's a small room. It's not a huge room. It's just a small room, but there was a lot of people in there. I don't even know what they were doing, but there's a lot of people there. So get there, I sit there, I'm nervous, he's nervous as well. Then I see my gynae, which I was happy about because I hadn't seen him the whole day. So at that time I see him, I'm so happy. He's like, "You're gonna do well, just trust in me, everything's gonna be well." I'm like, okay, cool. I gain a bit of confidence when I see him because it's a familiar face now. Anyway, so then the whole process starts. Then the same guy who is outside, who is taking us the whole process, now he's like, "Okay, we're about to do this, let's do this." So okay, I do the whole thing that he had said I must do. I lean forward as forward as I can, because another thing, guys, do you understand, you have a huge belly, so you must lean forward still. So I did that. Then I administered the epidural, which was it wasn't that sore. It wasn't that sore, guys. I'm such a baby when it comes to pain and needles, and I'm telling you, it wasn't that sore. It wasn't that sore. The whole horror stories that you'd hear about that injection being so sore. It's going to affect your body, your spine. When it's cold, you're going to feel your spine being sore. And all of those. I mean, Melo is 9 months, and I've experienced winter and cloudiness. I've experienced the worst times that people would express that that's when you're going to have a hard time. I haven't had. I don't even lie to you. I'm perfectly fine. Anyway, they do the whole epidural, then immediately I lie down. Now it's like quick, quick, quick. They must do this very quick. I don't know why, but it was just so quick. Everything was happening so quick. I'm lying down there. I'm holding my partner's hand. We're looking at each other. We are freaking scared. So what they do is they close just on my tummy. There's like something that they are closing, so I can't really see what is happening in front of me and the whole process of the delivery. I'm not seeing anything. So immediately that epidural, it has numbed my waist going down, so I don't feel anything. Guys, I can't even feel movement. It's like nothing is happening at all. Like nothing is happening. I'm just lying there and I'm looking at him. I can see the whole action happening around me, but no pain, nothing. Right? So a few minutes, they're still busy, you know? They busy with me. I don't know what's happening. They're speaking, but I can't really hear what they're saying, but I'm well and alive and I can see everything that's happening. So a few minutes later, I don't even know how long it took, but few minutes, maybe it was 30 minutes if I'm not mistaken. 30 minutes later, guys, I heard a crying voice, my baby's crying voice. Wow. That's the most angelic sound I've ever heard in my life. That was the most purest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps even now as I'm speaking about it because it's the most precious thing that you could ever experience. If you think there's something that you've experienced in life that is amazing, try having a baby. Guys, so I'm hearing that voice. You know, there's a song that says, "Ontotiki maketsi fela." I felt I was caught off guard because I knew what was happening, but the feeling I got, I couldn't believe it. It was like, wow, God is good. God is amazing. Like, what? What? You know, I kept on saying, what? Is this happening to me? Like, what? So anyway, I'm getting all teary then. At that time, I can see them taking my baby from in front of me by my, you know, the hole where the action is happening. I could see them, they taking my baby to another station. I think they wiping him off of all those things. So they wrap him in a towel, they bring him to me. He's lying here on my chest. I was in disbelief, you guys, the entire time. Like, there are no words that I can try and explain and say, this is how it felt and this is how it is. It's beyond any word that has been created on earth. It's a feeling that is beyond amazing. Yeah, it's the most amazing feeling I've ever felt in my life. I mean, I can talk about that feeling the whole day. So they give the baby to my partner. He holds him, and the first thing that I said when I saw him was, wow, he is so gorgeous. That's the only words that came. He's so gorgeous. He was so gorgeous. Like, he was so beautiful. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. That moment was amazing. So then I'm holding the baby here. We're talking with my partner. We're like so amazed at this wonderful thing. Then I think they continue. At that time, when I saw my baby, it ended. Any stress levels that I had, any anxiety that I had, the fear that I had, everything disappeared. There was so much peace. Like, he brought so much peace in my spirit, in my mind, in my body. And I was okay. I was okay. So yeah, so they finish up eventually. Then they They wheeled me out from the operation room. So there's a waiting area just before you go to the ward. So we waited there for like few minutes, and I was feeling cold, guys. There was just that caught me off guard. I was feeling so cold. I was freezing. I even asked for a hot water bottle because I was freezing to the point that my whole body was shaking. So anyway, that feeling, I think it lasted for like 15 minutes or so, which was very uncomfortable. But yeah, it happened. So yeah, then go went back to the room. And yeah, I had my baby, and I got there, we sat, and I was like, yeah. So a few minutes after that, after having my baby, then the nurse comes, and she asked me, are you gonna breastfeed? I'm like, yes, I want to breastfeed. I'm so excited, actually. Then it's like, okay, let's try it. So I'm gonna just show you what to do and how to do it. So they teach me basically how to how the baby must latch into my nipple, or the correct way, and not to do this, do that. So she took me through all of that. I don't want to lie, it was a bit difficult. You know, sometimes you just see how it's so easy. You put your breast, your nipple inside your baby's mouth, and it just sucks. It wasn't the same with Melo. He actually struggled to latch on, and I was also struggling. It was just a mess at first. However, eventually he got it. Then he started feeding. Then I fed him, which was amazing, which is amazing. Fed him, and yeah, basically that's what happened. I wasn't feeling any pain at all, actually, at all, but I couldn't move, you guys. I couldn't move at all. I was just lying there, basically. I couldn't move, and I don't even know what was happening down there. So yeah, so the first night we slept, it was amazing. So he wasn't sleeping with me. He slept in the baby's room. So every about 4 hours they would come and wake me up if I was sleeping. Then I feed him. They take him back. If he's crying, they come back. They bring him back. Then I feed him. He goes back. So it was just that whole thing in hospital, basically. So then the following day somebody came. Actually, there's the nurses, they actually come and wash you because you can't move. But there's nothing painful about that. It's just that it's a bit awkward, and you're so appreciative as to, I can't move, and there's people who are literally washing my body, guys. They washed my body. They changed my pad because you bleed a lot after you've given birth. They changing that whole mess. I'm like, wow. I appreciate those women. Even now, I looked at them and I was like, so yeah, I couldn't walk, obviously, the one day. The second day, then I could. They woke me up in the morning. They said, you must try to walk, take a shower. Then the second day, I started walking. Honestly, my scar, it wasn't painful. It wasn't painful at all, because in every time I was having a meal, I think they put painkillers. So every time I have a meal, painkillers. And guys, that's the routine I kept at home. So I didn't wait to have pains. All I did was, every time I was eating, I would take my medication after. And I've never experienced any pain. Guys, I'm healed today. My scar has totally healed. I've never had any pain at all. At all. The only thing, after my medication was finished, I think it took me about 2 weeks to heal. After my medication was done in the 2 weeks, then the following day, when I didn't have the medication, I only had a headache. Basically, I had a headache, and I think that headache was because I've been pumping myself with medication, and now there's nothing. Obviously my body would react, but it was just one day when I had the headache. After that, I was fine. And until today, as I'm saying, I said, with my spine, with my scar as well, it could be cloudy, it could be cold, it could be any type of weather outside. I've never experienced any pain or a discomfort. It has been amazing. So if they'd say I'd do it again, definitely C-section. Even if I had a choice to do natural birth, I'd do a C-section. Period. So yeah, as I said, my story is not a horror story. It was smooth sailing, guys. The only pain that I felt during the whole entire process was when they were putting a drip on my hand. That was the only time, which that is normal. A lot of people have had drips in their hands, so that's the pain that I experienced. Then the healing process for me, it wasn't sore. My scar wasn't sore because I was taking pain medicine the entire time. The only thing that was sore, sure, breastfeeding. For me, breastfeeding was the worst. My nipples, they cracked, and he had to suck on them whilst they were cracked because he needs to eat. That was the worst thing I experienced in my entire giving birth and after. It is the breastfeeding. As giving birth, there's nothing. There's no pain. And honestly, I am very happy with my decision that I did a C-section. I mean, my scar is so low. I mean, it's so low. It's just on my, where my pubic hair starts, that's where my scar is. So it's not even like, and it's very neat and small. So honestly, as I said, if I can do it again, I'll do a C-section. And if you make a decision, just research about it and stick with your plan, and just know what you want, right? And don't let people influence your decision because of their horror stories and what they experience. You can listen and take advice, but whatever you decide on, just stick to it. Even if you want to go natural birth, just stick with it. They're going to tell you horror stories, but now you might not experience those things, because as human beings we are different, and our experiences, they become different. Even all the delivery stories that I've heard, some are horrific, some are okay. Mine is okay, and it was the smoothest one, but I can't guarantee you will have the same one, or anybody else is going to have the same one. However, mine, it was smooth, and I would do it again a million times, the same process that I went through. So yeah. Whew, guys, as I said, storytelling is not my niche, is not my niche at all. I hope you enjoyed everything that I shared, and I wasn't stuttering a lot, and you enjoyed. And yeah, I'm done. The worst is over. To myself, I was really nervous about sharing the story, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, so guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking, and please comment if you have any story that you'd like to share. Please share it with me. You can write a long letter on the comment section. I would literally read all of it. I love hearing things, experiences that people had. I love sharing. I mean, I'm all about this. So please share if you have any questions. Please ask on the comments, and I'll definitely reply to your comments. And guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to me. And until the next video, I love you. Mwah!